Get up on your feet, get those smartphones out, get the light happening on the smartphone, and let them know you're out there. Get up on your feet, yell, scream and shout. If you're able, please stand up on your feet and let these 22 junior sedans know you're out there supporting them in one of their biggest race meetings of their career. We are going to crown a new national champion tonight here at Mount Gambier, South Australia, as they roll through turns 1 and 2. They're 4 wide of the 22 finalists. They roll out of turn number 2. Get those phones out, flash them about for our junior sedan competitors, and send them on their way. Big 21 heat races last night. 7 heats tonight, C main, the 2 B mains, and now we're here. We're at the main event, the big dance, the SSA National Junior Sedan title. A main over 25 laps is ready for a start. This time around, the 2 Mitsubishi Mirages, the 2-stage champions, Aidan Rigby from Queensland and the West Australian champion, Bo Oldfield, on the outside of the front row. SSA Junior Sedans, 20th anniversary of their national title. Rigby and Oldfield, your front row. We are underway with this 25-lap A-main for the National Junior Sedan title. And Bo Oldfield gets the best of the dispatch on the outside of the front row. And the red line roll cages, WA 84. Rigby tucks into second from Zach Munro. Lincoln Patterson has got Curtis Peel and Zach Turner for company. As further back, Billy McDonald has a bit of a half spin and rejoins at the tail of the field with 1 lap completed and 24 remaining. It's a quick opening lap from Oldfield at 16.795 as he leads Rigby, Munro, Lincoln Patterson and Curtis Peel, your top 5. Zach Turner is 6th from Jaden Hancock, Jaden Santin, Cooper Flynn, James Oliver and Brody Holloman, your top 10 at the moment. And Aidan Rigby with that spare motor under the hood of the Mitsubishi Mirage, now pressuring the West Australian champion, Bo Oldfield, as they come out of turn number 4 on the front straight. Rigby just got a little bit untidy trying to find a way past Oldfield and loses a couple of car lengths in the process. It's helter-skelter behind Zach Turner from 6th on back. Jaden Hancock, Jaden Santin, Brody Holloman and James Oliver rounding out your top 10. Cooper Flynn is 11th from Hunter Downs. Then further back is Cameron Smith, River Patterson, Miller Throckmorton as well. In there and Donnie Davis, the first of the drivers from the B main, making early progress in this one. But the SSA Junior Sedans absolutely flying around the Borderline Speedway. And just like that, we've got 5 laps in the books and 20 remaining. It's Oldfield from Rigby, Munro, Lincoln Patterson, Curtis Peel. Second of the Queenslanders is 5th from Jaden Hancock, who's out back there in 6th place in the Q7. Zach Turner is now 7th from Jaden Santin, Brody Holloman and James Oliver, your top 10. After that is Smith in his entry from Mildura. We've got Flynn, Davis up into around 13th place from River Patterson and Bree Simpson, also making strong progress after winning one of our B mains in the V10. But Bo Oldfield just putting a little bit of real estate between himself and Aidan Rigby early in this one, with 7 completed and 18 remaining. It's Bo Oldfield by 0.6 of a second that time around from Rigby. Munro has got Lincoln Patterson harassing his back bumper. Look at the Rassler Engineering V48 go to work. The bottom side of the racetrack working deluxe on Zach Munro, and Lincoln Patterson takes 3rd place. The V48, Munro back to 4th from Peel. Jaden Hancock, Zach Turner, Jaden Santin is back there in around 7th place. In fact, Jaden Santin is 8th. He's got Brody Holloman, who he races against on a regular basis in South East Queensland and Northern New South Wales, trying to find a way by. Then we've got James Oliver and Donnie Davis, who's working his way through the field in the W3. Davis now up into 11th down the inside of Cooper Flynn. But there's 15 laps remaining of the Borderline Speedway, and it's just closing up ever so slightly between the W84 of Bo Oldfield and the Q28 of Aidan Rigby. The 2 Mitsubishi Mirages work their way out of turn 2 into turn 3 in front of the Gambier Earth Movers sign. Lincoln Patterson still 3rd from Munro. Jaden Hancock sitting in 5th place where he finished 12 months ago at Alexandra. Zach Turner is 6th. Curtis Peel just falling back through the field in the Daihatsu Charade. He's gone back to 8th place. And so the lap traffic is certainly going to come into play for our 2 leaders very shortly. We haven't had a stoppage yet so far in this one. 13 laps remain, so we're just under halfway. 12 down and 13 remaining. And it's the 2 state champions that are going to battle it out for this national title. You have to fill without a stoppage. The lap traffic is going to be very, very important I'd imagine Oldfield would probably want a stoppage at the moment just to try and clear a bit of that in front of him as they come out of turn number 4. Here comes the Queensland champion, Aidan Rigby. A big lunge to the inside. The Q28 makes a bit of contact on the W84, and Rigby now has the race lead. They just banged doors on the exit of turn number 2, and Aidan Rigby now leads here at Mount Gambier in South Australia. 11 to run. The Queensland champion, remarkable with the spare power plant under the hood of his Mitsubishi Mirage. He leads Oldfield. Lincoln Patterson, Zach Munro now has Jaden Hancock for company as they battle for 4th and 5th. Zach Turner's holding off Jaden Santin for 6th. Then back to Curtis Peel, Brody Holloman, and a slowing James Oliver. It might get a stoppage here. The V35 is slowing on the top side of the racetrack, falling back through the field. But Rigby now has a little bit of real estate between himself and the red line roll cages. WA number 1 of Bo Oldfield as, oh no, James Oliver has turned right. In fact, he turned left in front of Kiana Barton. The right front tyre flat on the V35. He was trying to get off the racetrack. Very, very awkward for the Queensland champion. Pretty awkward as it was for him to jump on the brakes at a rate of knots. It all just unfolded in front of him. James Oliver trying to do the right thing, trying to get off the racetrack. And yeah, just a little slightest of grazes for Aidan Rigby in the end. Didn't catch that right front tyre or anything like that on the Q28. What's going to happen? Can Aidan Rigby hold on? Bring them very slowly to the green flag. So they head off back into turn number 1. Does Lincoln Patterson, Jaden Hancock and Zach Munro have something for our leaders as Bo Oldfield goes to the outside of Aidan Rigby? They're side by side of the two Mitsubishi Mirages. Rigby just runs up track a little bit. I think he got into a little bit of a bump down there in turn number 4. They're side by side of the two Mitsubishi Mirages once again. Oldfield still trying to work on the outside of the racetrack. It's Rigby and Oldfield side by side once again. There'll be 8 laps remaining this time around, the length of a heat race to go. And can Bo Oldfield, the West Australian champion, find a way past the Queensland champion, Aidan Rigby? 8 laps to run of Borderline. And look who's coming into this one. The V48, the Victorian of Lincoln Patterson. Jaden Hancock is now 4th. He's put Zach Munro back to 5th. And Munro now has Zach Turner in the McCush Motorsport Lancer trying to work his way into the top 5. Brody Holloman is 7th from Jaden Santin, Curtis Bill, and Billy McDonald from the B main is now in the top 10. But Aidan Rigby shaking off the challenge of Bo Oldfield ever so slightly. We've got a stoppage. We've got a couple of cars that have got together down there in turns 1 and 2. That's Bree Simpson in the V10 and the V814 out of Mildura of Cameron Smith. And just 7 laps remain. This is going to be a nail-biter, you have to feel, Brad. It's a pair of state champions who lead the way. The Queensland champion, Aidan Rigby, and the West Australian champion, Bo Oldfield, head off into turn number 1. Jaden Hancock looks like he has some dramas with the Q7. Falling back through the field. Zach Turner with some issues as well. So a bad first corner for a couple of Mitsubishi Lancers who were well inside the top 10 for this race. And the yellow lights have come on. Jaden Hancock with a flat right front tyre in the end, Brad.
Yeah, you were right, mate. He was slowing.
Top 10. Aidan Rigby gets us back underway. 7 to run, and you should imagine Bo Oldfield straight away trying to find a way past in his Mitsubishi Mirage. Lincoln Patterson, the first of the Mitsubishi Lancers, runs in 3rd from Zach Munro, and Brody Holloman has come from P11 to be up inside the top 5 in the Q12. From the Charlton Raceway into Toowoomba. Curtis Peel is 6th from Jaden Santin, Billy McDonald, Bree Simpson, as Hunter Downs now works his way inside the top 10, and the ODH Mechanical number 29. But there is 5 to run of Borderline for Aidan Rigby as Curtis Peel muscles to the inside of Brody Holloman and works his way back into the top 5 in the Q11 Charade. Santin back to 6th from Hollywood. He's fell back to 7th, and Billy McDonald from the B main to now be up in 8th places. It's getting untidy between Hunter Downs, Bree Simpson and Cameron Smith, who's stationary over there in the back straight, and we're going to get a stoppage with 4 laps remaining. Actually, it'll be a 5-lap restart to come up. And
Rigby to lead in from Oldfield, Patterson and Munro. Set for a start. 5 to run.
Let's indeed 5 to run, Brad. Let's see what happens in these final circulations this weekend here in Borderline. Look at Zach Munro going to work on the inside of the V48 of Lincoln Patterson. They come out at turn number 4, and Munro from Western Australia momentarily has 3rd place. And Bo Oldfield is going to challenge for the race lead as they exit turn number 2. The West Australian champion ranging up alongside the Queensland champ. They work past the Gambier Earth Mover sign into the front straight. The Queensland champ just bouncing through a bit of a bump in turn number 4. Oldfield throwing everything at him. 3 to run here in Mount Gambier. This is going to be a thrilling finish you have to feel to this year's SSA National Junior Sedan title. The 2 state champions, the only 2 in the field this weekend, run 1-2 with 2 laps remaining. Rigby just putting a little bit of real estate between himself and Oldfield. Oldfield goes to the bottom side of the racetrack. They exit turn number 2. A little bit of a touch between them and the yellow lights are on. The yellow lights are on. We've got Cameron Smith in
the Santin entry, the New South Wales 51, your top 6. Let's get it in the books, Mount Gambier. 3 to go.
And Rigby leads them out of turn number 4. The green flag comes down. 3 laps remaining of Borderline. Bo Oldfield, can he get it done on the Queensland champion in front of him? Can he find a way past? They work their way to turn number 2 and down the back straight into turn number 3. Past the Gambier Earth Mover sign on the front straight. Oldfield to the inside of Rigby. They were nearly side by side at the start finish line. Oldfield on the low line. Rigby on the outside. And the West Australian champion hits the front. Rigby's going to dive back down underneath as they enter turn number 3. And we've got one around here in the front straight. Lucas Barnett. So I think Hayden Rigby will go back to the lead. And has had a great battle with Bo Oldfield throughout this A-main. We are back underway with this one, and Rigby gets a fantastic start in the Q28. Put a little tiny bit of real estate between himself and Bo Oldfield as Lincoln Patterson has Jaden Santin on his outside. They're side by side into turn number 3. Santin in on the outside, Patterson on the low line with 1 lap remaining of Borderline. Does Bo Oldfield have something for the Queensland champion? They work their way through turns 3 and 4 and down the back straight for the last time. The 2 Mitsubishi Mirages, 1 from Queensland and 1 from Western Australia. And the Q28 Hayden Rigby comes out of turn number 4 and will claim the national title here in Mount Gambier. The Queensland champion gets it done. From Bo Oldfield, Zach Munro, Lincoln Patterson and Curtis Peel will round out your top 5. And what was a fantastic 25-lap finale here in South Australia. And the Q28, the back-to-back Queensland champion, Hayden Rigby, has prevailed by 0.51 of a second over Bo Oldfield in the W84. Third home will be another West Australian, the W138 of Zach Munro from Lincoln Patterson, Curtis Peel, Brody Holland.
Just waiting for him to climb out of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he climbs on top. Your current Australia 1. What a photo that'll be.